Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers have everything it takes to contend and could possibly win it all. But let's talk about it. Last season was a very up and down season for the Los Angeles Chargers. They dealt with a lot of injuries to the wide receiving room and to the offensive line. The biggest thing with this Chargers team, can they be coached up in the right way? From last season, Coach Lombardi, the offensive coordinator, was not a good offensive coordinator. You're bringing in Kellen Moore from the Dallas Cowboys, and he may have his faults, but I do believe that he's going to come in and make an immediate impact with this offense. They definitely have to be more explosive. They had some explosive plays last season, but when you have guys like Justin Herbert and Austin Eckler on your offensive side of the ball, you have to find a way to go out there and be more explosive. And I understand Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, those guys are going to go downfield. They aren't burners with speed, but they're guys that are very good. They can go catch the deep ball for you and are very good route runners as well. Bringing in Quentin Johnson was excellent for this team. He's a guy that you put inside and outside the slot, and he has that speed and that frame, that size that the Chargers desperately need. And he can also come in and can fit to be a number 2 or number 1 wide receiver if Mike Williams and Keenan Allen do go down again, because both of these receivers have struggled with injuries in the past. But if they're fully healthy, they can be one of the most dangerous offenses in the NFL. And you also have a very good running back system with Austin Eckler and also Josh Kelly as well. I like Joshua Kelly. I think that he's going to be used more in this system with Kellen Moore, because you saw what he did last season with Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. So do not be surprised if Joshua Kelly comes in and gets a lot more carries, while you have Austin Eckler come in out the backfield and can be that receiving back for you as well. Because one thing that we all know, Austin Eckler is one of the best do-it-all running backs in football when it comes to catching the football at the backfield, and it comes from running in between the tackles, and he's a touchdown machine. I also like Gerald Everett at the tight end position as well. They have Joshua Palmer, who can come in and stretch the field. He had a nice play against the Kansas City Chiefs last season. I think that you continue to build upon his play and his development as well. But this offensive line has to be key. They definitely have to stay healthy. Rashawn Slater is a good tackle. Zion Johnson is a good guard. And Corey Linsley is a very good center in the NFL. If all these guys can stay healthy, the offensive line should still be a top unit in the NFL. And you're bringing in a brand new training staff as well. Hopefully that will help out with these injuries, because in the past, even back to the early 2000s, the Chargers franchise just dealt with injuries. So hopefully they can get that situated, and it would be nice to see a healthy Chargers team that could last for the majority of the season. Their defense wasn't questioned at times last season due to the injury that Joey Bosa had with his neck, but you had Khalil Mack, who led the team in sacks, who was very good with this team, still a good veteran. You should have a very good pass rushing duo if both of those guys are able to stay healthy. The cornerbacks are solid with this team, and when I'm speaking of solid, I mean Asante Samuel Jr. He's a very good corner. I'm looking at J.C. Jackson. I'm going to give him a pass for last season, and I'm going to tell you why. Last season was a horrible season for him. When he came in and when he actually did get snaps for the Chargers, he didn't look good. Hopefully Brandon Staley can come in and use him in an effective way, the same way that he was being used with the New England Patriots that earned him this huge contract with his team. He missed training camp last season dealing with an ankle injury, and he did get hurt last season as well in the Monday night game against the Denver Broncos. I do believe that he could be a very good corner for this team, and Brandon Staley has to find a way to use him with this team. The reason why I believe that it could work out, Brandon Staley as a head coach is in question because the things that he has done with the timeouts and going forward on 4th and 5 when they're on their own 30 and sometimes their own 40, that is questionable. But at the same time, he is a very good defensive coach in the NFL. I would give him that credit, and I think that he will figure out ways to use J.C. Jackson in the best way possible. And if they can't figure that out, that's a horrible signing for this team. I like Derwin James at the safety position as well. He's a very good, strong safety. And their linebackers are solid with adding in a veteran, Eric Kendricks, and you also have a young developing player still in Kenneth Murray, who hasn't developed all that way just yet to being worthy of a first-round pick, but is a solid linebacker to have with this team. I think that he'll get better as well. The interior of the defensive line still does bother me at times because those guys can get pushed around a bit, but I expect for Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, they're both healthy, to help out the interior rush with the defensive line and help those guys not be able to get ran across the middle of the field. So we will see what happens in those type of situations with this team. But the Chargers are extremely talented. They will definitely compete in their division, and I expect them to make another playoff run. If they do not make the playoffs, or if they do have an early playoff exit, look at the job of Brandon Staley being in question. because I'm one of those guys from last season. You cannot blow that lead against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I understand that you had injuries and you had Joey Bosa going crazy on the sideline, getting unnecessary penalty. I understand that. But the coaching game plan failed Justin Herbert and the team in the second half of that game. And I feel like Coach Lombardi got the full axe because of that. If they're not able to make a full playoff run this season, I think Brandon Staley will be on his way out of the Chargers coaching staff. So let me know about that in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. And when you look at this Chargers team, before I let you guys go, when you really take a deeper look at this Chargers team, they can compete with the Kansas City Chiefs. They are just a couple of plays away from beating the Kansas City Chiefs. I went back and looked at both of those games last season. The Thursday night game, the turning point in that game was the pick six when Gerald Everett was basically tapping out of the game because he was so gassed and they're dealing with so many injuries to where they needed him on the field at that time. It was a pick six because he was too tired to fight for the ball. And they also had a lead on them in the Sunday night game to where Travis Kelce was matched up on Derwin James. He completely beat him and he went for a touchdown because those guys were not able to tackle on the field. If they clean up those little errors and mistakes, they could be a team that could contend with the Kansas City Chiefs and possibly beat them out for this division. I understand that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL, but do not doubt Justin Herbert. If they can just put a healthy roster around him and a competent coaching staff, that kid arm and talent is insane. So let me know in the comment section below, how do you feel about that? Once again, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Most importantly, I want each and every last one, guys, stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace.